Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's Lethal Weapon, brought to us by Ocean. Lethal Weapon was released in 1993 to go along with the release of the Lethal Weapon 3 film. This is apparent as you can see that the box art for the game is actually the Lethal Weapon 3 poster. In the game you play as Riggs and Murtaugh as they work their way through 3 different levels broken up into several different stages. So here we go with Lethal Weapon for the NES. Like many of Ocean's movie games, it's more about getting your score up than actually completing the game, as they have the emphasis on the high score, as you can see even at the startup screen. In the game you can use your fist, or you can actually use other weapons, including mainly your gun, which you can gain extra ammo for as you go throughout the game. In the first few levels, the enemy is only going to take one shot or one hit with your normal attack in order to take them out. However, as you get farther and farther, these enemies will become a lot harder to take out. While it may not look too bad, there actually is several things that makes the game relatively hard to control. You can lose health really quickly some points, as well as that you only have 2 lives. You start off as Riggs, but once you lose all your health, you end up becoming Murtaugh. There's also only a handful of types of enemies to face throughout the game. Learning how each of them works is going to be beneficial to you. However, for the most part, a lot of the enemies end up working the same as different types. There are several different power-ups to pick up throughout the game, including the bulletproof vest. When you have that, you can still be damaged by normal attacks of enemies, but any bullets that fly at you won't do damage during that time. One of the other annoying enemies is the helicopters. Now these get taken out by either throwing grenades that they throw at you back at them, or doing your normal attacks or shooting them with the gun. You will see several crates laying on the ground throughout the game. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if you're actually able to pick them up or open them up, as I've tried pretty much every combination of buttons, and I still can't figure out what they're used for. At this wall, you're able to jump over it as you make it over the next area. Be very careful that you don't fall into the water at the bottom of the screen. It will be an instant death. If a helicopter is too high for you to take out with your bullets or your normal attacks, you have to wait for it to throw down a grenade. Once it does so, you're able to pick it up before it explodes and throw it back at the helicopter. Most of the time, as you're making your way through, you'll run into several different buildings, in which case a lot of enemies will usually pile out of them. Right here, you're not able to actually jump over the wall, so you actually have to attack it in order to break a piece of it away for you to get over. Most of the time by doing this, though, the wall will leave an item behind, usually some health, so you can pick that up. When you make it to the end of the first level, you're going to have to deal with this Kickmaster. Get up close to him and use your normal attacks and just keep mashing the buttons, and it'll only take a couple of seconds to take him out, and he'll only be able to hit you a few times. The bosses will get a little bit tougher and do more damage to you later on in the game. However, for the first couple of levels, it's really just mash the button and do more damage to them really quickly before they're able to do really that much to you. At the beginning of the second level, you're able to pick up a bulletproof vest right away as you continue through. We also have introduced for the first time these many different holes throughout the game. Enemies are going to pop out of them at random times in order to attack you. You can take them out by doing a quick jump attack. If you know an enemy's in the hole even though they're currently not on screen, you can actually jump kick the hole and still do damage to the enemy even though he's below the ground. Thankfully, every time you play the game, the enemies are always going to spawn at the same spot, so you'll get used to where they're coming from and when they're going to appear. This will give you the jump on them so that you'll actually be able to shoot ahead or attack ahead and be at the right spots to take them out easily. When you get to this screen, jump up and attack the satellite dish to destroy it, and you'll get a free bulletproof vest out of it. These enemies are some of the most important in the game for you. They come out usually in 2 or 3 at a time and run out the door, and you have to be very quick to take them out before they go off screen. Now, not all of them are actually going to drop items, so only certain ones are going to drop them, but you'll either get some health out of it or some ammo for your gun, as well as sometimes a bulletproof vest. One of the hardest things to get used to in the game and get better at is actually dodging the projectiles and attacks of the enemies. It's going to be really hard to conserve a lot of your health because a lot of the attacks are just impossible to dodge because they happen so quickly. As you can see, the gun actually ends up taking several shots to take out enemies as you get farther in. So, even though the gun would usually be better, it's actually best sometimes to get up close and use your fist or kick in order to take them out. Up here you can destroy another satellite dish in order to ensure yourself another bulletproof vest. After you take out all the enemies, it's time for the boss battle, this large fat guy. He jumps out of the van and starts attacking you. Just like the first level, our goal is to get up close to him and just keep mashing the attack button as fast as possible to quickly take him out and complete the stage before he's able to do too much damage to us. Once he's done, we move on to stage 3 of level 1, the exhibition. While the level of course does look a lot different, it's still pretty much the same thing, moving slowly across the screen and taking out pretty much the same enemies. These guys are relatively new, as they will throw out grenades as well as try to fire at you. Those guys are also new enemies, however they pretty much work just like the other ones, as they can fire their bullets at you, or do damage to you when you get up close to them. There is some strategy, especially in areas where you're going to have different levels to jump on, as you can get up on certain levels and be able to attack enemies below you or above you, depending upon what platform they're on, and they won't be able to hit you. After you take out these guys, be ready because some of those guys are going to come out with the crates to try to run off screen. Get up close to take them out for some extra health as well as some ammo. These green guys can be annoying, especially with all the platforms, as they're going to try to jump and get away from you. The same goes for any of these enemies as well. Over here is also our first hostage of the game. What you want to do is get up close to the enemy that has the guy held hostage and take them out with either a quick attack or use your bullets. However, with the hostages, they will move up and down, getting in the way of your fire, so you gotta be very careful when you take them out. Thankfully though, you don't lose a life or any health for hitting a hostage, but your score will go back down to 0. Take out the enemies and then jump on the wall, and you're actually able to jump up and drop kick the helicopter to take it out. Here we have some bombs. You have to defuse them by hitting them when the light is on. After you take out one, the lights will start flashing faster on the other ones, so you have to be very careful. If you don't hit them while the light is on and it's off, you'll end up losing a life as it explodes. Over here, jump back up onto the wall and take out the helicopter in the air. After you take out some box enemies as well as a few more normal enemies, you'll have to battle the boss of the stage, and it ends up being two of these